This family owns America. Imagine a world where money is simply not a factor, where private jets are an everyday convenience, and where spending $2.3 million on a single photograph counts as barely worth mentioning. Welcome to the realm of the planet's wealthiest families. Number 1. The Al Saud family. Let's start with the Al Sauds, the royal family of Saudi Arabia, a name that has become shorthand for staggering wealth and spending on a scale that borders on the unbelievable. This is a fortune so large that even someone who won a massive lottery jackpot would look like a pauper by comparison. Their estimated fortune, sitting at around $1,400,000,000,000, buys a lifestyle most people can barely picture. Where does all of that money come from? Overwhelmingly, it comes from oil. The family controls enormous reserves and runs some of the most profitable companies anywhere in the oil, gas, and energy sectors, businesses that move trillions of dollars through their books. The centerpiece of the whole empire is Aramco, the largest oil producer on the planet. This one company alone supplies about 10% of the world's oil, and its value, unsurprisingly, runs into the trillions. But the family's wealth doesn't end there. They also hold major stakes in banks, telecommunications companies, and construction firms, among many other things, with holdings so spread out that keeping track of them all is nearly impossible. With that kind of money, it's no shock that their lifestyle is extravagant beyond belief. A world where cars, yachts, and even escalators are finished in gold. It's been reported that whenever King Salman travels, hotels redecorate specifically for his arrival, adding gold trim and custom furniture just for the occasion. And that's only the beginning. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is known for his own lavish tastes and owns some remarkably expensive real estate, including the Chateau Louis XIV outside Paris, valued at roughly $300 million, dollars, and a towering hotel complex in Mecca worth an estimated $3,500,000,000. Then there's his ambitious Neom project, a planned, futuristic, self-sustaining city rising out of the Saudi desert. This massive undertaking is projected to cost around $500 billion, though whether it will ever be finished remains uncertain. Even so, it stands as a symbol of just how vast the ambition and wealth inside the Al Saud family truly is. Number 2, the Rothschild family. The Rothschilds are a name that shows up again and again in conspiracy theories, often cast as secretive figures quietly controlling global finance. With a fortune some estimates place as high as $500 billion, it's easy to understand why they draw so much attention. But when you're sitting on that kind of money, does online speculation really matter? Probably not. The Rothschild dynasty traces back to the late 1700s, when Meyer Amschel Rothschild built his empire out of Frankfurt, Germany, founded on banking and finance, and expanded methodically across Europe. Their skillful navigation of international finance, especially through periods of political turmoil, brought them enormous power and prestige. Bring that story forward to today, and the Rothschilds still hold stakes in a wide range of profitable businesses worldwide. While banking remains at the core of what they do, they're also major players in mining and construction. On the mining side, they own pieces of some of the largest operations in the world, including Glencore, valued at around $93 billion, and Rio Tinto, with a market value of roughly $132 billion. They also hold substantial investments in RIT Capital Partners and numerous other ventures. Their interests reach well beyond finance, too. The Rothschilds are well-known art collectors, with a collection valued above $2 billion, a reflection of both their taste and their purchasing power. Their real estate holdings are equally impressive, including properties like Chateau Mouton Rothschild and Waddesdon Manor. While certain family members, such as Nat Rothschild with his super yacht Planet Nine, do enjoy visible displays of wealth, the family as a whole tends to favor discretion, staying out of the spotlight and avoiding flashy spending. That quality sets them apart from some of the other ultra-wealthy families on this list, particularly the family that currently holds the title of richest in the world. Number 3, the Arnault family. Led by Bernard Arnault, the wealthiest individual on Earth, the Arnault family represents luxury and influence in equal measure, with a combined family fortune approaching $240 billion. Their story blends sharp business instincts with an eye for high-end taste. Bernard Arnault's path began in France, where he took control of his father's construction company back in the 1970s. But his ambitions reached far beyond that. He diversified the family's holdings, moving into the world of luxury goods and eventually building the empire that exists today. At the heart of their fortune sits LVMH, Moet Hennessy Louis Vuitton, a conglomerate that brings together legendary luxury names such as Louis Vuitton, Dior, and Givenchy. This global powerhouse cemented Arnault's place at the very top of the luxury business. Naturally, wealth on this scale leads to some remarkable purchases. The Arnauts own a castle near Bordeaux that is 150 years old, along with an 18th-century Parisian palace reportedly worth more than $220 million. Still, for them, real estate seems more like a strategic investment than a passion project. Their true love appears to be yachts. They own 2 super yacht manufacturing companies and a striking 330-foot super yacht named Symphony, valued at $150 million. Their holdings also include several luxury hotel chains and even a private island. Interestingly, despite their enormous wealth, the Arnauts no longer own private jets. They previously had a fleet that included a top-of-the-line Bombardier Global 7500, but chose to sell those aircraft over environmental concerns, revealing a side of the family focused on their ecological footprint. Beyond luxury, the Arnauts are notable philanthropists. Bernard Arnault famously donated $234 million toward the restoration of Notre Dame Cathedral, and gave roughly $1 million to help fight wildfires in the Amazon rainforest. Even though Bernard Arnault himself is the richest person alive, the broader Arnault family fortune places them third on this list, since climbing past the top 2 families usually takes more than sharp business sense. It takes generations of established power and influence. Number 4, the Walton family. The Walton family, forever linked to the retail giant Walmart, occupies a unique spot among the world's wealthiest. Their fortune, estimated at more than $250 billion, traces back to the vision of Sam Walton, who founded Walmart in 1962. Today, Walmart's footprint is enormous, with more than 11,000 stores spread across 27 countries. The chain has become so widespread that having a Walmart nearby is almost a defining feature of towns across America. Despite this immense wealth, the Waltons have kept a reputation for staying relatively grounded. Alice Walton, Sam Walton's daughter, is a dedicated art collector. In 2011, she opened the Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art in Arkansas to showcase her collection. Among her notable acquisitions was a Georgia O'Keeffe painting, purchased for roughly $4,400,000. The family's giving extends well past art. They are major philanthropists, having donated billions toward causes spanning education, healthcare, and environmental conservation. They are also key backers of the Walton Family Foundation, which funds programs aimed at improving lives and strengthening communities. This dedication to giving back adds another layer to the Walton family's story, one built on immense wealth, paired with a steady commitment to philanthropy. Number 5. The Mars family. The Mars family, the confectionery powerhouse behind beloved treats like Snickers, Twix, and Mars bars, holds a fortune estimated at $16 billion. Dentists may not celebrate them, but children around the world certainly do. The family's journey began in 1911 when Franklin Mars and his second wife started a candy business. Their first attempt was disrupted by the First World War, but it laid the foundation for the candy empire that followed. Today, the company's reach goes well beyond sweets. One of their biggest expansions has been into the pet care industry, where the family invested nearly $9 billion, a bet that has clearly paid off. The Mars pet care business is now valued at around $40,500 million and employs more than 130,000 people worldwide. The family tends to stay private about personal spending, though occasional glimpses do surface. In 2007, for instance, John Mars purchased the historic Marbury Hall estate in England for roughly $63 million, equivalent to about 50 million pounds at the time, a striking property with sprawling gardens and a grand mansion. Beyond their business interests, the Mars family is actively engaged in philanthropy. The Mars Foundation, established in 1965, supports a range of charitable causes, including education, conservation, and scientific research. As impressive as the Mars family's fortune is, it pales next to some of the other families still ahead on this list, whose fortunes dwarf even this candy empire. The Wertheimer family story offers a fascinating example of building enormous wealth by recognizing and backing someone else's genius. Their lavish lifestyle today traces directly back to shrewd business decisions and calculated moves that carried them into the top ranks of global wealth. Their fortune is tightly bound to Coco Chanel, the legendary figure in fashion. The partnership began in the 1920s when Pierre Wertheimer, recognizing the boldness and promise of Chanel's designs, joined forces with her, using his retail expertise to help grow her brand. The original agreement, however, was lopsided and controversial. Wertheimer secured a striking 70% of the profits, leaving Chanel with only 10%. This unequal arrangement highlighted the Wertheimers' business instincts, but it also created real tension. Chanel pushed back through legal channels, though perhaps her boldest attempt to regain control came during the Nazi occupation of France. Drawing on her connections within the Nazi Party, she tried to have the company seized from the Wertheimers, who were Jewish. Pierre Wertheimer, however, had already anticipated this and had transferred ownership to a Nazi collaborator, protecting the business ahead of time. After the war ended, the Wertheimers quickly moved to reclaim full control. Coco Chanel's death marked a turning point as the Wertheimers acquired her remaining shares, securing complete ownership of the Chanel empire. With full control and a sharp read on the luxury market, they expanded the brand and grew their wealth dramatically. Today, Pierre's grandsons, Alain and Gerard, run the family business. They have diversified their holdings, investing in prestigious vineyards in France and in horse breeding operations around the world, further strengthening their fortune. It's a remarkable story of business savvy and calculated strategy within the world of high fashion. Now let's turn to a family whose wealth comes from a different kind of success story. Number 7, the Slim family. Carlos Slim, often called the Warren Buffett of Mexico, leads the Slim family, the seventh wealthiest family in the world, with a net worth exceeding $95,100,000,000. While their fortune could easily support a life of extreme luxury, the Slims have chosen a very different path. Carlos Slim, the family patriarch, is a striking example of modest living among the ultra-wealthy. Despite his enormous fortune, he still lives in the same unassuming six-bedroom house he bought 40 years ago, back when his wealth was far smaller. He even caps his own monthly salary at a relatively modest $24,000. Don't expect to see him making flashy purchases. Slim's grounded outlook likely traces back to his humble beginnings, having started out as a child selling snacks and drinks to friends. His enormous fortune, however, wasn't built on candy. It comes primarily from America Móvil, Mexico's largest mobile phone operator, a company valued at an estimated $7,500,000,000. He has also made several other successful investments that help secure his place among the world's richest people. A significant share of Slim's wealth goes toward philanthropy. He is a strong supporter of education, the arts, and sports in Mexico, reflecting his commitment to giving back. Carlos Slim is a self-made billionaire, a sharp contrast to the family we'll look at next, whose fortune was built on someone else's creative talent. Number 8. The Betancourt family. The Betancourt family, with a net worth of over $92,700,000,000, brings a distinctive dynamic to the ranks of the world's wealthiest, since their rise was led by a matriarch, the late Liliane Betancourt, who took the family to extraordinary heights of wealth. While the Betancourts can trace their lineage back to 14th century Norman nobility, it was Liliane's leadership that turned them into one of the richest families on the planet. At the time of her death in 2017, she was the wealthiest woman on Earth, with a fortune of $44,300,000,000. The family's primary source of wealth is the iconic cosmetics empire, L'Oréal. Today, the company is led by Liliane's daughter, Françoise Betancourt Myers, who inherited not only her mother's business instincts, but also the title of the world's wealthiest woman. Françoise currently ranks among the 10 richest people on the planet, with a net worth of roughly $92 billion. Despite this enormous fortune, the Betancourts are known for staying relatively low-key. While they certainly enjoy the comforts their wealth affords, including lavish homes and exceptional cars, they generally avoid the public spotlight in favor of a more private life. That said, compared with the family we'll look at next, the Betancourts, despite a lower net worth, are actually seen as more willing to spend. Number 9. The Ambani family. The Ambani family, the wealthiest in India, offers a window into a world of extreme opulence, led by business tycoon Mukesh Ambani. Their fortune of $85,100,000,000 comes largely from Reliance Industries, one of India's biggest conglomerates, with holdings spanning telecommunications, petrochemicals, and much more. Impressive as their business success is, it's their extravagant lifestyle that really grabs attention. A prime example is their home, Antilia, a 27-story skyscraper in Mumbai. This architectural marvel is considered the most expensive private residence in the world, valued at around $2 billion. Its lotus-shaped exterior and richly decorated interior speak to the family's taste for extravagance. The Ambanis occupy the top 6 floors themselves, while the remaining floors house an array of luxury amenities, including a private cinema, a state-of-the-art gym, a world-class spa, and even a snow room kept at a constant 0 degrees. The first 6 floors are dedicated to a garage holding more than 160 cars, including custom Rolls-Royces, limited edition Bentleys, and other ultra-luxury vehicles. Despite this lavish spending, the Ambanis are also active in philanthropy, contributing to a range of charitable causes aimed at making a positive impact on society and helping those in need. Number 10. The Koch family. The Koch family, with a net worth exceeding $68 billion, represents a unique combination of industrial power, political influence, and refined artistic taste. Their empire, built through Koch industries, spans a wide range of sectors, from energy to manufacturing. Koch Industries holds the distinction of being the largest privately held company in the United States and a major global oil producer. The family is deeply involved in American politics, particularly known for their substantial financial support of the Republican Party and their opposition to climate change legislation. Over the past decade, they have donated more than $1,500,000,000 to conservative causes, underscoring their commitment to shaping the political landscape. The Koch family's wealth also fuels a taste for extravagant acquisitions, especially in the art world. They are known for collecting masterpieces by renowned artists such as Monet and Picasso, effectively turning their homes into private art museums. One particularly notable purchase was an original photograph of Billy the Kid, acquired for a striking $2,300,000, a testament to their willingness to spend generously on unique and historically significant items. For a family of their wealth, an expense like that counts as a relatively minor indulgence, underscoring just how vast their fortune really is. Number 11. The Al Nahyan family. The Al Nahyan family, with an estimated fortune of $35 billion, embodies a level of wealth that outpaces even hugely successful billionaires like Jeff Bezos or Warren Buffett. Their wealth even surpasses that of the Walton family, the owners of the Walmart retail empire, making them the richest family in the world. This extraordinary fortune is driven by a combination of factors, including their ownership of 6% of the world's oil reserves, their control over massive investment funds, such as the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority and the Mubadala Investment Company, estimated to hold $1 trillion in assets, and strategic investments spread across diverse sectors, from Rihanna's Savage X Fenty lingerie line to Elon Musk's SpaceX. Their assets are equally striking. Their most notable possession is Qasr Al Watan, the presidential palace of the United Arab Emirates, located in Abu Dhabi. This colossal palace, 3 times larger than the Pentagon, took 7 years to build at a cost of $490 million, and it's considered one of the top 20 art and cultural sites in the world. Beyond Qasr Al Watan, the family owns numerous palaces around the globe, including Chateau de Bayonne in northern France. The Al Nahyan family also indulges a passion for superyachts, owning the $600 million Azam and the $527 million Lursen A+, two of the 10 largest yachts on Earth. Simply refueling these giant vessels costs a staggering $640,000. Their fleet of private jets includes 2 Boeing 747s and 787s, valued at $450 million and $180 million, respectively, aircraft reportedly outfitted with lavish amenities, although the specific details aren't publicly known. Supercars are another passion for the family. Sheikh Hamad bin Hamdan Al Nahyan, a family member with a personal net worth of $20 billion, is known to own a collection of more than 700 supercars, ranging from a 24-ton, 10-wheel SUV to a 21-foot Willys Jeep, and several classic American models, reflecting his wide-ranging automotive tastes. The Al Nahyan family's lifestyle stands as proof of just how unimaginable their wealth truly is, offering a rare glimpse into a world of opulence that few people could ever picture. Number 12. The Hermes family. The Hermes family, with an estimated fortune of $115,900,000,000, stands behind one of the most recognized luxury brands on the planet, Hermes. The French fashion house is celebrated for its exquisite scarves, neckties, and perfumes, as well as its highly coveted Kelly and Birkin handbags. The family's story began in the 1800s with Thierry Hermès, who crafted riding equipment for the aristocracy. Today, the company's reach extends far beyond its equestrian origins, dressing even basketball royalty like LeBron James. Hermès has also embraced modern technology, partnering with Apple to create the Hermès Apple Watch, a luxurious take on wearable tech that retails for upwards of $1,249. The family continues to guide the company's direction, with Axel Dumas serving as executive director and Pierre-Alexis Dumas as artistic executive vice president. Their leadership ensures that Hermès maintains its legacy of exquisite craftsmanship and timeless elegance while adapting to the shifting demands of the luxury market. Number 13, the Al Thani family. The Al Thani family, with an estimated fortune of $133 billion, has ruled Qatar since the middle of the 1800s, steering the country through modernization, wars, and even attempted coups. Their reign has been a defining force throughout Qatar's history. Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani, who took power in a bloodless coup against his own father in 1995, a move that involved freezing his father's assets to prevent any countermove, transformed Qatar into a major global player during his 18-year rule. Under his leadership, Qatar's natural gas production surged, driven by the development of offshore gas fields and the discovery of new oil reserves. By 2010, the average annual income per person in Qatar had reached an astonishing $86,440. Beyond oil and gas, Sheikh Hamad diversified the family's wealth through strategic investments in major companies, including Volkswagen, Total, Sainsbury's, and Barclays Bank. In 2018, he stepped down from the throne, handing power to his fourth son, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, ensuring the Al Thani family's rule would continue. Number 14, the Thompson family. The Thompson family, with an estimated fortune of $71.1 billion, built its wealth on the foundation of the media giant Thomson Reuters. Their story began in the 1930s, when Roy Thomson launched a radio station in Ontario, Canada, later expanding into the newspaper business. That early move into media laid the groundwork for the family's future empire. Today, Roy Thomson's grandson, David Thomson, leads the family business as chairman of Thomson Reuters. His personal net worth, estimated at $54.4 billion as of December 2023, places him among the top ranks of global billionaires, reflecting the continued success and influence of the Thomson family in the world of media and information. Number 15. The Cargill-Macmillan family. The Cargill-Macmillan family, with a combined wealth of $63.3 billion, represents a sixth-generation dynasty among the world's richest. They hold a majority stake in Cargill, the agricultural and food corporation that brought in a staggering $160 billion in revenue during the fiscal year ending in May 2023. The company's roots go back to 1865, when William W. Cargill founded a grain storage warehouse in Conover, Iowa. Today, Cargill is a giant, the largest privately held company in the United States by revenue. Its influence on the American food supply is immense. The company handles 25% of all United States grain exports, controls a substantial 22% share of the American pork market, and stands as the largest poultry producer in Thailand. Cargill is also the sole American producer of Alburger salt, a specialty product favored by the fast food and processed food industries. William Cargill's descendants, spread across the Cargill and Macmillan branches of the family, maintain firm control over this Minneapolis-based giant, a clear sign of their lasting influence over global agriculture and food production. Despite their vast wealth and reach, The family keeps a relatively low profile, operating largely behind the scenes of the massive company they control. They are known to share a family office in Wayzata, Wisconsin, a reflection of their close-knit family structure, even as their business spans the globe. Number 16. The Johnson family. The Johnson family, with a fortune estimated at $59 billion, presides over a mutual fund empire that has adapted and thrived through shifting market conditions. Edward C. Johnson II founded Fidelity Investments, originally called Fidelity Management and Research, in Boston back in 1946. Today, his granddaughter, Abigail Johnson, leads the closely held firm. Fidelity has navigated the shift away from actively managed funds toward low-cost index funds by introducing zero-expense ratio funds and moving into the digital asset space. The family's discreet management style, combined with their ability to adapt to changing financial trends, has been key to their lasting success. The Johnson family office operates out of New Hampshire, overseeing the family's wide-ranging financial interests. Number 17. The Boehringer and von Baumbach families. The Boehringer and von Baumbach families, with a combined wealth of $52.9 billion, maintain a remarkable legacy of ownership and leadership within the pharmaceutical industry. Their story begins with Albert Boehringer, who founded the German drug maker Boehringer Ingelheim in 1885. More than 130 years later, the families remain at the helm of this closely held company, headquartered in Ingelheim am Rhein, Germany. Chairman Hubertus von Baumbach, along with his extended family, owns and guides the company, continuing a long tradition of family leadership. They also invest in private equity through their family office, Profunda, further diversifying their wealth. Interestingly, Hubertus von Baumbach began his career at Roche, another pharmaceutical giant controlled by one of the world's wealthiest families, before returning to lead his own family's business, a clear sign of his deep ties to the pharmaceutical world and his commitment to carrying the family's legacy forward. From oil tycoons to media innovators, these families have built empires that shape the world around us. Their fortunes are staggering, their lifestyles extravagant, and their influence impossible to ignore. While their wealth reflects ambition, ingenuity, and sometimes plain luck, the stories behind these families also reveal the deeper complexities of power, philanthropy, and the endless drive to succeed.